Hey Royals, this is Mademoiselle Mosley again. I hope everybody is doing fine tonight. We're almost in the new year. I hope everyone has a happy new year. Listen, I was thinking about marriage, and sometimes I think some of us, have the wrong thought about marriage. Some people marry people to control them, and that's not what marriage is for. Let me read something to you that I was reflecting on about marriage. And the reason why I'm coming from this angle is because some people marry people just to control them and to mistreat them. They don't marry them to love them, to honor and to cherish. Even though they take those vows, that's not why they do it. And if you really love someone, you would not want to control them or mistreat them in any kind of way. Let me get into it. Submission should be by permission to a greater mission. Yes, submission should be by permission to a greater mission. To the one that you're submitting to. Submission isn't control as though you have no soul. Do this, do that, clean this, do that. No, you can't go. Hold on. You're just a wonder in this life without direction. Just waiting for someone to tell you what to do. That's not marriage. God designed marriage for a greater purpose besides how it looks on the surface. You know, some people that have them big weddings and they do all this matching of clothes and buying cars and doing nothing wrong with it. That should not be the only thing that it's about. Marriage is a partnership, not a slave ship. And marriage is not to tolerate cruelty. You know when they say till death do us part, that don't mean that you should be cruel to your person and cause their death because you're treating them in a way that's killing the total aspect of who they are and what you think they should be. Because you never had a plan on loving me. Let's get it. So it's not to tolerate cruelty while they rule over me. It's designed so that we can love, honor, and protect one another. That's what it's designed for. Love, honor, and protect. Not to justify neglect and disrespect. Some people justify the neglect and respect in the marriage. Oh, that's my wife. Oh, that's my husband. That should be even more so that you respect and love that person. See, like it says, marriage is not to justify neglect and disrespect because you get money. See, sometimes the one that's getting the money use it as control to manipulate. Then, I'm not saying this is all in totality, then you teach the person whom you're married to, they have to manipulate and act a certain way with you because that's the only way they're going to get something out of you because of the game that you playing. They got to either play the game or lose in all areas. And it doesn't make any sense. There should never be any games played. We're supposed to be partners. See, we are the miracles. We are what we are waiting on. We are the miracles that we are waiting on to heal one to another and not to hurt each other out of our trauma or make each other sick from all the drama or justify the lies and deceit because we need to eat. We don't have to do low down dirty things to eat. Because see, when we practice lies and deceit, we end up in defeat. Love is what we need to nurture the seed. Not to be overcome by greed. Knowing you have exactly what you need. Knowing that you lack in some areas. You've been the trauma carrier. Sometimes, we reflect on the trauma that we have experienced in the past, and we continue to create more trauma in the present, and we pass it on to our children as a gift, and not understanding they didn't ask for none of this. Yes, we become this through our trauma in disguise as a solution. By taking your problems out on someone else because you don't want to deal with yourself. That's what happens. You take all your trauma out on somebody else because you don't want to deal with yourself. Marriage is not to enslave someone or to manipulate or to marry for money or sex or looks. Marriage and the submission of marriage that comes automatic when you give someone something to submit to that's not trying to subdue you. Submission is something that should be given by permission with a greater mission. That means it just flows so beautifully. But when you start mistreating me, then you kind of break down our destiny. Because it ain't going to last. It's not going to last long like it's supposed to. And like I said before, and this is not to try to diagnose anyone from afar, but a lot of us get married for the wrong reasons. We get married because we know the person, like we think we know the person, or they are, successful, or they're beautiful, or we've been knowing them since we was kids. You don't know anybody in that aspect of relationship until you get in the marriage. Just because you are good friends don't mean you will make good partners. Just because you've known somebody a long time in one area does not mean they'll be good in this area. So I hope that helped you all. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, get it before it gets you. I'm out.